Havner on behalf of probation.
Jeffrey Fantle on behalf of Ms. George. Have had an opportunity to speak with Ms. George. She understands her rights. She understands the allegations. She is prepared to plead guilty to the violation.
Okay. Did you go over your rights with your attorney?
Yes.
Did you understand your rights?
Yes.
And did you sign and date this form?
Yes.
Okay. Are you waiving your right to that contested hearing then? All right. And you understand this is a third technical violation. That means you could get up to 15 days in jail. Do you understand that?
I do, Your Honor.
All right. There's an allegation that you tested positive for alcohol on a drug screen on 5/16/24 and had an abnormal creatinine on 4/25 and 5/16 and 5/12 or 25/24. Do you understand those allegations?
Yes.
Okay. And how do you plead to the allegation you tested positive for alcohol on 5/16?
Guilty.
Okay. Yep. You had abnormal creatinine tests on 4/25, 5/16, and 5/25. How do you plead?
Guilty.
All right. All right, I'm going to accept the pleas as knowing and voluntarily given. Miss George, you have a problem. Are you aware of that? You don't think you have a problem? Do you think you have a problem?
I don't think I do, no.
You don't? Have you ever been in jail before?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have? On
Many-
your
Many years ago.
many in 2009?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it a pleasant experience?
No.
Do you want to go back? On your next violation, I can just give you the jail time and we can end this. You understand that? You keep doing it. Like you're on probation. You have a problem. Let me be clear. Look at my face. You have a problem because you keep drinking on probation. And I don't know how else to get that through to you. But I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine knowing I could get thrown in the Wayne County Jail and to continue doing it unless I had a substance use problem. It's not just regular use, or you'd be able to make it, right? You wouldn't keep doing this.
If I might address
You may.
one thing I did note to her, it's unusual. Number one, that we have creatinine levels that are low, but we still end up with a positive alcohol. Usually it's where they can't read it. And because she's had multiple, I did suggest that she go see her primary care physician, and because there are some medical reasons, some physical reasons that could affect her creatinine, and that's something that at least, at the very least, should be looked at. She indicated in terms of the alcohol use, it was a gathering in her home, and it was unintended, but that's her fault. She's got to know what she's taking, and she also had a conversation with her partner, because I suggested to her that if someone's having a gathering at your house and they're bringing alcohol into the house, that's terribly disrespectful to you, but she has the obligation to make sure whatever it is she's drinking does not contain any alcohol. So she acknowledges that, accepts that responsibility. I know what the recommendation is. We've talked about that. She is employed Monday through Friday, working with mentally challenged individuals. And I would ask the court to allow her to report on 4 o'clock Friday and allow her to serve any time on a weekend schedule like that.
Okay. What time was this gathering at your house? What time of the day?
It was about 7:30 when I got,
At night?
yeah.
You think a bunch of grown-ups just sit around drinking orange juice? I've never been in a group of grown-ups. A group of my friends come over and we're all, let's have a glass of orange juice at 7 o'clock at night. It's ridiculous. I don't believe it, period. That you're at your level, especially with your creatinine low on the same test, and you were twice the limit of the cutoff on the test. I don't believe you had a sip of orange juice that you didn't think had vodka in it at all. I don't believe you. You're gonna do 2 days jail. You'll do it on the weekend. I just wrote report 4 p.m. Friday. Your drug testing is increased until directed by the probation department. Your PBT testing is increased to cream until directed by the probation department. And I'm sorry, the drug testing is to Navy. Okay. And your probation is extended 3 months from end date, and you're to continue all previously ordered conditions.
Thank you.
All right.
Make sure you-
All right, this is 23-14-76, the state of Michigan versus Kevin Kowalczyk.
Morning, Your Honor. James Guzicki on behalf of Mr. Kowalczyk, who's present on Zoom. Your Honor, he's requesting a new attorney.
All right, Mr. Kowalczyk, tell me your name.
Yes, Your Honor. My name is Kevin Thomas Kowalczyk, 1234 or 1233-1993 or 31. My bad.
You have a jury trial set for 2 weeks, for 2 weeks. Mr. Guzicki has been representing you. Why is it you're seeking a new attorney?
Your Honor, because he's not doing what I asked him to do for me. I asked him to ask you or whatever needs to be said or whatever needs to be done. I have really, I have concerns about this. I mean, I don't feel this is fair. I had this tether on my leg and I'm going through everything I'm going through. And I also feel like I'm being harassed by Taylor, and I could just go on and on and on that we could go for months and months and talk, but I don't have time to waste on your hand, and you don't have time to sit here and waste, but I got voicemails with my phone number, dates of times that would come through my phone of people calling my phone, threatening me they're going to kill me. I got stacks and stacks of police reports from where she's came by my house threatening me.
All right, sir, I can't hear all of that though right now. There's not a trial set in front of me. I mean, those sound like things that you could present at trial if they're appropriate. An attorney would know better than I at this point. I don't know any of that, and I'm impartial. I'm not supposed to know all of that until all the parties are present and there's a trial or a plea taking place.
Where's she at?
But there's a charge against you for domestic violence. It's set for a jury trial in 2 weeks. Now, Mr. Guzicki's been representing you so far along. I don't understand what the material breakdown is. I mean,
I no longer want him. I need to figure out how I can get a legal aid lawyer to represent for me. Plus,
to counsel. But Mr. Guzicki is our house counsel. There's another attorney that could be appointed to represent you for trial going forward.
Your Honor.
Well, you don't get to, sir, if you pay for your lawyer, you can go through as many as you want. But if you don't like, I mean, I'm not going to just continue appointing different attorneys because you don't like what they have to say. I mean, that's. So how are you going to get another attorney?
Just need, what did she say, babe?
She said that you had to get a hold of the court to let them know that you needed a new lawyer.
Did you hear my girlfriend by any chance?
No, and I know, I want to hear what you are telling me.
They said that you had to get a hold of the courts, and the courts had to notify them that you wanted a new legal aid lawyer.
All right, I don't know what you said. So listen, if you want a 1 week adjournment, we can come back next Wednesday and you can come in with your new attorney from legal aid.
Plus, ma'am, my other concern is I wanted to know how I want to bond this over the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice of Frank.
This is a misdemeanor. That doesn't happen. Your attorney probably advised you of that. This is not a felony. It's
He never told me that. He never told me that,
All
Your
right,
Honor.
well, you can't bind over a misdemeanor. This is the court of jurisdiction.
I have before.
Well, you're not. Well, you're not. This is a misdemeanor, 93-day misdemeanor. This is the court of jurisdiction. Third Circuit cases are 2 years.
I was told it was 14 months in prison.
Sir, this is Oh,
And
single
man,
count.
where is Miss Sarah McCall? How come she's not on the video? How come she's not in court? Ain't she supposed to be in
Who
court?
are you talking? No, Mr. Kowalczyk, you need to chill. Calm down.
You know,
She's present.
I'm calm.
No,
I'm calm,
I
ma'am.
said
If you want,
I'm
you can take
talking.
the tether
I'm
off my
talking.
leg and you can
You
send
want
me
to hold you
14 months in
contempt of
prison.
court?
I have no further to speak. You're
$200. Mr. Kowalczyk, you are held in direct contempt of court. You owe this court $200 fine. You want to keep going? You're not going to talk over me in this courtroom.
But don't I have the right to speak?
Sir, no, you have the right to remain silent.
Okay,
And
okay,
if I were
okay,
you, I would exercise it.
okay. I'm sorry, ma'am. I apologize.
Is she- All right.
Life in
So
prison.
you do you want a 1 week adjournment so that you can try and retain an attorney?
I mean, is there a way you? I don't know how to do nothing, ma'am. I don't know how to go about getting a lawyer set up.
Well, sir, you listen
And
to
I
me.
feel it's a conflict of interest.
Listen to me. Listen to me. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, the court will appoint one. The court has appointed Mr. Gazicki to represent you.
Correct.
You're indicating now that you want to go to legal aid and you want to get the advice of a legal aid attorney to see if they'll represent you on this matter. And you have a right to do so. So I will give you a 1 week adjournment so that you can retain counsel. This is set for a jury trial in a week. In a week and a few days.
Ma'am, I don't even care. I'm just gonna go with it with the flow. We'll just do it how it goes and let this dude think he's gonna do the job for me like he
all right. I'll see you
represent. Can I represent myself?
We'll readjust this in 1 week. You're to be back here next Wednesday our city docket? You're to be back here next Wednesday at 9 a.m. and you can give me an update on your legal aid attorney at that time. 1, parent 2. This is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days and or $500. A consecutive sentence may be imposed under MCL 750-506A if the assault was committed in a place of confinement. Sir, did you go over your constitutional rights with your attorney?
I have not called anyone.
Listen to my question or we'll be here all night.
I can't understand what you're saying.
Excuse me?
I can't understand you.
Then put your ear down there so that you can hear me. And if you can't hear me, just say, I can't hear. Did you go over your constitutional rights with your lawyer?
No.
Okay. Can you hear me right now?
Yes.
Sir, I'm going to go over your advice of rights form with you. Mr. Gazicki, are you waiting to go do matters next door?
No, Your Honor. Mr. Fanto's there.
Okay, I just want to make sure. If you require accommodations to use the court because of disabilities, or if you require a foreign language interpreter to help you fully participate in court proceedings, please contact the court immediately to make arrangements. You've been brought to court on misdemeanor charges, and you have the following basic rights: to plead guilty or not guilty, or to stand mute. If you stand mute, a plea of not guilty will be entered. You may plead no contest with the permission of the court. You have a right to a trial by a jury. You also have the right to assistance of an attorney. You have the right to an attorney. Do you understand all of that so far, sir?
I think so. Yes, I believe so. Like, could we just go ahead and hire your guy? I don't know what to do, ma'am.
Well, you don't have to hire my guy. First off, Mr. Cornelius, I don't have a guy. Mr. Gazicki is paid by an independent commission to represent people who
Is there any way I can chime in here? I'm the victim on this case.
Miss Justice.
He has a disability. He has a traumatic brain injury.
Ma'am, thank you for bringing that to my attention. I'm going through this as slowly as I can, but I don't need you. piping off in court. I need to go through all of this with him.
I know. What I'm trying to tell you is that he does not comprehend. He has a traumatic brain injury. I
Okay,
can
thank you.
help.
Can you
I am
mute
the victim,
yourself?
but
Okay. Sir,
Yes.
you understand that Mr. Gazicki, the attorney that's here today that you spoke with, Mr. Gazicki is not my lawyer. Mr. Gazicki is a defense attorney. He would be your lawyer.
I'll take him. Thank you.
Okay, and you don't have to pay for Mr. Gazicki. He will get Mr. Gazicki to be your attorney at court expense. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't have to pay for Mr. Gazicki. Now I have to tell you, you have the right to a trial. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And at that trial, you would have the following rights. You'd have the right to call witnesses to speak for you at trial. So if there were witnesses that saw things that you wanted to bring to court, you could get the court to sign an order to get them here. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And you have a right to see and hear and question all of the witnesses against you. Do you understand that?
Yeah, when can I do that? Right now? Because I've obviously been here since Saturday fucking night. Nobody told me nothing about making a phone call or nothing.
All right,
aggravated.
Mr. Cornelius, calm down. I am trying to get you through this hearing so that we can set a bond, but I can't set a bond while you're acting like this in court. I have to make sure you understand your rights. And at the end of this, we will talk about bond, okay?
Okay.
Okay. You cannot, your trial will be set in the future to answer your question though. You also have a right to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent. And if you chose not to be a witness, the prosecutor could not talk about your refusal to testify. Do you understand that?
You're using too many big words for me. I don't understand any of the words that you're saying.
Okay, I'll try and use different words. All right. You know, when you see, let me see how to say this. So you always hear on TV that you have a right to remain silent, right? You don't have to talk.
Yes.
You do not have to talk to police officers. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You do not have to talk to anybody in court. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And you don't have to be a witness. You don't have to take the witness stand if you don't want to. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. And the law considers you to be innocent. Do you understand that?
No, obviously I just can't see the law considering me to be innocent when I'm sitting in jail. She's not.
Okay, well, you're arrested for a crime, sir, and we're trying to get through this hearing, and I'm letting you know. Listen, I mean, Mr. Gazicki, I don't know at this point, if I can't get through this, I don't know if he's gonna have to, if you're gonna make a motion to refer him, if he can't understand what's happening in court. I mean, if he can't understand.
At this juncture, I would ask for a competency referral.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to understand what's happening. I cannot arraign him properly without that.
Your Honor, if I could speak, he doesn't understand. And
Okay,
the level of severity.
So that a determination as to whether or not this hearing or any hearing can proceed is going to have to be made. So.
The level of severity of he is dangerous. I have a fractured skull.
All right. All right. Okay. All right, Mr. Gazicki, I'm granting your motion for a referral for competency. Ma'am, is that injury that you sustained as a result of this incident? Ms. Justice, I'm finally asking you a question.
I'm sorry. No, this was not a couple days ago. This was not
from him. Is the skull injury from him? Is that your allegation?
Yes, that was the October 29th incident, not just a couple days ago.
Absolutely not. I did not touch you, Alicia. That was not me.
All right. Okay, Mr. Gazicki, a personal bond is certainly not appropriate We're referring him for competency. I definitely have a concern about danger to the community. And it's clear to me that Mr. Cornelius,
Your Honor, he purchased a weapon. He purchased a handgun 2 days after.
Okay, Mr. Gazicki, I'm not taking that into consideration. I don't think I need to. I have concerns about the safety of complaining witness, Ms. Justice. She said enough. She needs to speak with the prosecutor. We'll make sure that she has contact information so that she can do so at the end of this hearing. But I do not think that a personal bond is appropriate. He has a $5,000 cash or surety bond. He's referred for competency. You're to appear in court as directed. You're not to leave the state without permission of the court. You're not to commit any new crimes while released. You're to immediately notify the court of change of address or phone number. You're not to have any contact with Miss Justice or her home or employment. No contact with her whatsoever. Miss Justice, do not accept phone calls from him. He is to have no contact with you. No drugs or alcohol, no weapons.
Your Honor, he is on SSI disability and his dad is his financial legal guardian.
Okay.
He is
Okay.
a danger to society.
Sir, he is in the Wayne County Jail on a $5,000 cash bond. If he has any contact with you, Ms. Justice, you are to notify the Wayne County prosecutors and the police department. We're going to make sure you have, Ms. Justice, have you had any contact with the victim's advocate?
Yes, I have. I'm currently homeless in my car with my dog.
I just need to know if you've talked to the advocate, and you have?
Yes, first step.
Okay, wonderful. I wanted to make sure that you've had contact with them. Okay. All right, we're all set. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. James Gazicki on behalf of Mr. Weiss. Waive reading of the complaint, stand mute. He's going to plead guilty to reduced charge of failing to display. He owes approximately over $1,200 in defaulted tickets. He's asking for a payment plan on everything, Your Honor.
Sir, do you understand everything your attorney just said?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, did you go over your constitutional rights with your attorney that are outlined on this advice of rights form?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you sign and date this, or did you give your attorney permission to sign and date this form, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you withdrawing, sir?
Excuse me, ma'am?
Are you withdrawing?
Withdrawing, what do you mean?
Okay. All right. You understand that failure to display is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days in jail and a fine of up to $100 plus court costs and statutory fees?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
And you understand if you're on probation or parole and you enter a plea of guilty, sir, that you'll be waiving the trial rights on that form. There will be no trial of any kind.
Yes, ma'am, but I'm not on probation or parole.
Okay. You understand that you're not going to have a trial of any kind if you enter a plea of guilty?
I mean, I was guilty. I'm not, it's really something I can't fight.
Okay, so let's go back. Listen, slow down. You
Okay,
got to
sorry.
answer the question, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
You went over your rights with your attorney. Do you understand that if you enter a plea of guilty, there will be no trial of any kind and you'll be waiving those trial rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How do you plead to the charge of failing to display a valid license?
I plead guilty, Your Honor. I'm just asking for a payment plan so I can make the payment. I can get out.
All right. Well, I don't really believe that you're going to make a payment plan, sir, but we'll get to that.
Your
Mr.
Honor.
Weiss, I need you, Mr. Weiss, if you want me to take this plea, then you need to help me get through the plea, okay?
Okay.
Has anyone forced you to get you to plea?
No. Nobody's forced me, no.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea agreement to get you to plea?
Just asking for.
Has
payment
anyone
plan.
promised you anything?
Nobody
Did I
promised
promise
me
you that?
anything. Nobody's promised me nothing, no. I was just hoping for it.
Okay. And you understand I could give you up to 90 days in jail.
Yes, ma'am, I understand that. I'm hoping that you don't.
Are you pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes, ma'am. Maybe I shouldn't be, but.
Were you operating, well, it's your choice. It's your free will, sir. You want a minute to think about it, Mr. Weiss?
I mean, I'm guilty of it though. I mean, there's nothing I can do about that. I can't beat it. That's not something I can beat. I mean, I was in the vehicle. Yes, I was.
So do you want me to accept a guilty plea?
Yeah, I accept it.
Were you
Please.
operating a motor vehicle in the city of Taylor on February 9th of 2023?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
While you were operating that motor vehicle, was your license suspended, revoked, or denied?
Yes, it was.
Did a police officer ask you to show him a valid license?
Yes, you did.
Did you fail to do so?
Yes, I did fail. No, I didn't have.
Mr. Gazicki, are you satisfied with that plea?
Fine, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm gonna accept the plea as knowing and voluntarily given. So I have all of these tickets in default from February, no proof of insurance, the expired plate, one headlight, no registration. All of those tickets together equal $1,200. Mr. Weiss, do you work?
Yes, ma'am, I was working at Crown Royal. It's Crown Roofing. They're out of Wyandotte.
All right, Mr. Gazicki, I'm gonna give him a payment plan. I think he needs treatment, but I can't force that. Fine of 100, court cost of 100, state assessment of 50, and a crime victim's rights fee of 75. Those last two are mandated by the state of Michigan. That's 325 plus 1278.
Wow, that's a lot. I guess
Yeah, you wanna do some jail time and clean up instead? Get some medically assisted treatment in the jail, get some Suboxone or something, help you come down off this?
I'm good. I'm good on all that. I
know, all right, sir. All right,
I
payment
promise.
plan,
I'm gonna stay clean. I'm already
payment
clean.
plan of $50 a month. If he doesn't comply with the payment plan, he's going to county.